Welcome everybody to Iconic TV Live. It's Tuesday, 5 p.m. We're here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific to give you the strategies and the principles that you can use to scale your business from 6 figures out to 7 figures in 1 year or less without any of the struggle or the hassle or the headaches that usually come with trying to grow a business. And today we're doing something very unique. This is a 2-part series. And what we're going to show you is how to finish out the year strong. And wherever it is, we're talking about 100K in 100 days. This is a theme we've got going on. And this is as we get into the next couple months of the year. So I have a question for you. What if everything you've learned about building a successful business is wrong? All the strategies and techniques you've been told, what if they didn't work? What if it isn't the way to do it? Now, the question is, where did you learn it? Maybe you just had some people tell you, do this, and do this. Maybe you watched on YouTube. Maybe you went to a few challenges, read a book. But guess what? A lot of what you learned is wrong. And it could be that the times have changed, but your strategies didn't. Let me tell you a little story about this, because what we're talking about today is how do you distinguish this? Okay, there's a strategic way you can grow your business, and there's a tactical way to grow the business. And the question is, which one are you doing? Most people start off with one, and that's what slows them down. That's what I mean by it's the wrong way. Now, we're going to turn everything upside down for you. But the other thing is you have to make sure your business is systemized and customized, because a lot of times the way you learned business is a very cookie cutter format, right? Isn't that how it is? Okay, give me a yes if that's been you. You followed a path or a course. Maybe you took a class, you worked with a coach, and they only had one way of teaching everyone the same thing, right? So what we want to do is mix that up a little bit, because you can't get to $100,000 in 100 days and find that kind of profit in your business and do it again and again and again, following strategies that are designed for people who aren't even at 6 figures. So the strategies have to change. And this is what we're going to talk about. So when I came to America, so I grew up in Europe, and we came to America, everything is different, right? I didn't speak like everybody spoke. We had different games. We didn't even really play games, not in any ways that Americans do. And people were in cliques, and there was all this stuff going on that I didn't understand. Well, in 4th grade, my teacher was Mr. Thomas. I was so in love with him. It was my first love affair. And yes, with a married man. My teacher was married, but I loved my 4th grade teacher. Anybody remember who their favorite teacher is? Put it down below. Let me know. Put it in the chat. Who was your favorite teacher that you had? You probably have a fond memory of them. Well, Mr. Thomas was great, and he understood the hardship I had coming from Europe into America, not speaking the language, not knowing the customs, not knowing the games. And we'd play outside, but I didn't know inside games. And so where we lived at the time was in Washington State. And guess what? In Washington State, it rains all the time. So we were inside, and poor Mr. Thomas is trying to figure out games that we could play to keep us interested as 4th graders, right? So what did they do? He decided to start a checkers tournament. I don't know what checkers were. Never heard of this thing. And so they broke everybody up, and we moved the desks in pairs, right? And it was a checkers elimination system. So you would pair up, okay? You put your desks together, face each other, and then you play checkers. Well, no one ever asked me, Connie, do you know how to play checkers? I had no idea, okay? And I'm really shy, and I was terribly intimidated. So now I'm getting paired up, and I don't know the rules, and I'm like trying to figure it out real quick. And someone says, oh, you just move your thing, you try to get to the other side and take all the chips. I'm like, okay. And so Mr. Thomas felt kind of bad for me. So what he would do is he'd be walking around checking everybody how they're doing. And when I start to make a move, he'd go, no. And then if I do another one, he'd go, yes. So every move I made, he was somewhere around there looking over to try and help me so I wouldn't be like the first person out, and say, yes, make that move. Don't make that move. Do make that move. Okay. So the whole time I do this, and I win that first little pairing. And then I go to the next one, right? And so as you're eliminated, you have to move your desk, and then you stand outside around the outside of the room and you watch everybody play. Well, as luck would have it, and as Mr. Thomas would have it, it came down to me and the most popular girl in school, Kathy. And so here we are playing. However, now everyone is around watching us, okay? And I barely know the language. I don't know the rules. I don't know how to play the game. I'm just trying to make a move, and I look up and I kind of look for a yes or a no, and that's how I move. I was playing this game tactically, right? Is this the thing? I'll do that. I had no idea that there was a strategy to this at all. Well, so guess what? Now he's walking around and everyone's looking at him, realizing he might be cheating with me. And so he has to stop. And I have to play this thing on my own. Not only, it would have been okay if I lost when nobody was really paying attention, but now I'm the new kid in school. Everybody's circling. Everybody's going, Kathy, Kathy, Kathy. Nobody's rooting for me. They don't even know me. And I don't know what I'm doing. I lose miserably. And I run off and go in the coat closet and cry. Why do I tell you that long story? Because that's what's happening in business, right? It's a strategic game, okay? And sometimes you're playing chess and sometimes you're playing checkers. We have to switch that up, okay? So are you guys good? Any chess players in here, right? They say it's the sport of kings, or is that horses? I don't know. They're all the same to me, okay? So let's make it simple. How do you make this money in business? Because we're going to build you out an automated monetization machine, an automated way to make the money, okay? And there's a super simple success plan. Find the leak in your business. What's holding you back? Set the target for what you want to achieve and work the plan. It's that simple, okay? Now, you've heard of KPIs, key performance indicators. These are the levers that you pull. What is the thing that you have to focus on to get that result? And the strategic thing that you have to look at is you have to first become distinguished. You've got to disrupt what you were doing before, disrupt your market, and then you have to dominate the market. And what that means, that's how you're going to get your appointments. That's how you're going to get your calls. And that is how you're going to get your closes and your sales so that you can dominate the market. Okay. Now, there are 4 profit stages. Okay. Remember that you want to figure out which stage you're in. So I want you to tell me which step are you focused on? I'm going to go over all 4. And which step do you need fixing? Okay. So I want you to write in the comment focused if this is the one that you're focused on working on right now, and then fixed if like stage 2 fix, okay, or stage 3 focus. So I know, and I'm going to offer you guys an opportunity to figure out your own $100,000 strategy, okay, and I'll walk you through it. So stage 1 is your messaging, okay? This is where you got to really figure out what is your value proposition that you are putting out there in the world, okay? Stage 2 is the marketing, and most people start here, okay? So the marketing is for a purpose, and that's to get you appointments. Stage 3 is the meetings. What's the point of the meetings? You've got to get the show up right there. People have to show up. Otherwise, you can't get to the next part, which is the money, and that's the conversion rate, okay? So stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Messaging, marketing, meeting, and money. Those are the 4 profit stages. Type down below, and let me see your comments. I see some people starting to type now. Cool. Okay, type down below. What stage are you in? Stage 1, 2, 3, or 4? What are you focused on? And what do you need help fixing? Okay. Now you might be on the meeting stage, but you still don't have your marketing down. Or you might be really focused on getting some money and closing sales, but you still don't really know your messaging. And that's a big problem that people are having, right? They're going out there and doing stuff, but they started in the middle. And like, I just want to get to the stuff and go market all my stuff, but you don't have the foundation built. And this is why you can't get beyond that 6-figure mark. Is this making sense? Okay. And you might go, oh, now I get it. And this is what I'm talking about. You started your business wrong. So we want to fix it. And I'm going to show you there are levers that we talked about, and there's 12 of them. These are the 12 pathways to profit. You don't need all of them, but you do need to put them in order. Some of them you already have. So you might only need to work on 3 or 4. You might need to work on 8 or 9. Okay. But you have to know what they are. How is it in your business? How are you tracking it? What are the metrics? And what I have, after doing this over 5,000 times, our team with people in 50 countries over 10 years, we know what your numbers should be based on the industry. Okay. So now we want to see, how do you measure up to that? Okay. And is it time for you to take the next step? So I do want to let you know, I would love to help you find these profit pathways. Okay. And it's going to take me about 45 minutes. It is a phone call. Just type #profit down below, and I will go through the 12 different levers, see where they are for you. And then I will give you a clear roadmap, exactly what you need to do. And you will get a 17-page report that says, do this, do this, do this, do this. Okay. Does that sound cool? Okay, I want you to go through that. All you have to do is type #profit. Okay, right down below, you can see #profit. Okay, and it's guaranteed. I guarantee you, in that time together, you will not waste your time, and I will show you how you, regardless of where you are in your business, can get that $100,000. Okay, so I'm focused on this for the next couple of weeks. So please stay tuned. Okay, and I'm going to go deeper and deeper into how exactly you do this. So if you don't book a call, okay, but then I at least get the this cheat sheet here. Okay, it's a guide, and you can type #workbook if you want the workbook, but more importantly, I'll give it to you on the call anyway. Okay, so just go ahead and type #profits. My team, we have Angie and Sandy and Della and Tally and another Angie here today. We've got a full house helping you get all of this. Okay, so I want you to get both. I want you to get the workbook, type #workbook, and I want you to get the call where we can find the $100,000 of profit in your business so that you can start doing that. Remember the first 3 things that we were talking about, right? On that super simple plan. And that is, we got to find the leaks. Where do you not have all these 12 levers filled? Okay, then we're going to set a goal for you, a target. What's your financial target that you want to hit? When we know the target, then we know how to set up the strategy, and then you have to work the plan. Now, number 3, I'm going to admit, okay, this is where everyone falls apart. This is why you need the workbook. So people go, okay, I know what the problem is, and I know how big my goal is. I want to make $250,000. And then you don't work the plan. You do somebody else's plan, or you get distracted and you go from here to here to here. Does that happen to anybody? I don't know. Come on, anybody have shiny object syndrome? I used to have it really bad. Okay, so how do we fix all this? What I'm going to be doing is helping you figure out everything, give you an analysis, looking at your company, your clients, your competitors. Where do we put all these? How do we file all of these? How do you have a system that you can return to again and again and again, regardless of what kind of business? If you add new products, you can do this over and over and over, right? So you have an automated monetizing machine. Okay. Now, this is the problem here. Which way are you doing it? Currently, are you doing strategic actions, or currently are you doing tactical actions? Remember, this is what I just showed you. The difference is chess and checkers. Okay. So type down chess if you are doing very strategic actions in your business and you have a long-term plan. Okay. And I want you to type checkers if you're just kind of doing one thing at a time, and then you go over here, try something else, but nothing is really connected. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you're doing one or the other. Okay. At some point you need a combination of both, right? When you have a strategic plan, you have to implement the tactics in order to make it work. However, most people start with tactics. Okay. And where you need to start is with strategy. So what do I mean by that? It's a whole different world, isn't it? Chess and checkers. When I was in the 4th grade, I was playing a tactical game. I bet you Kathy was playing a very strategic game, even if it was checkers. So are you playing too small in your business? Is this why you haven't crossed the $100,000 mark? So what can you do in checkers? It's simple. You can move forward, you can move backwards, you can use sideways, and you can also go diagonally, right? But the problem is there's not a lot of options, right? There's only one kind of piece that you can work with, right? There's only one thing. There's not a lot of options. You have limited rules, okay? And you know, you want to, if there's only one or two things you can do, there's not much you can do to play to win, right? And so the stakes are low when you're playing checkers. That's why I say you're playing small and it's tactical. You're not going to move forward. If you do want to meet with me, go ahead and go to meetconnie.com. You can cut to the front of the line and book an appointment with me right away. Okay, you just go there, fill out the date that you want to pick, and you will land on my appointment calendar. Okay, so checkers is tactical. Okay, and there's tactics that we need, right? And there's tactics that you can compare and contrast. For example, if we look at some of the marketing tactics like content and doing funnels and emails, live shows, they're all necessary, okay? But you also have to understand, what about the frequency? How often do I need to do those, right? And I put together the grid. This is just a portion of some of the things that I'm going to look at with you, okay? Like, how often do these things have to be done? What is the cost of doing them? For example, if you hire out your content, maybe it's around $800 a month. Have somebody do your funnels for you, around $3,000. Somebody to do your emails. We have an email agency, $1,000 to do all your emails for you every month. Okay. What about live shows? That's the lowest price, the lowest cost. Okay. And maybe you want a team. We can even get you the team to work it for you. So all of these things do have a cost, right? Even if you do it, there's a cost of your time. So that's where that cost comes in. Whether you do it or somebody else does it, you want to find the best person for the job to do it. Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's somebody who's skilled at doing just that. And then what's the reach? Okay. You've got to do like content. Most people are doing content all the time. Well, we can do your content for you every single month and put it up and done, right? You never have to think about it. And with content, you have a high reach. Okay. But the profit on that is low, right? You don't always get people to see it or take action on your content. Okay. Funnels, right? You don't have to do a lot of funnels. You can't create a couple. A funnel doesn't make a business, but you kind of need them. Okay. And sometimes they don't produce a profit. Emails, the big kept secret is those have a medium frequency or high frequency. Okay, we do a lot of them, and some people say the reach is low, but that doesn't matter because the profit is high, right? Because you do mass quantities, you might only get 20% open rate and 4% click-through rate. That is still big money. Okay. And shows, our favorite, because this is where you go really high ticket, really, really, really high profit for every show that you do. And the frequency is really, really low. Okay. So now if you look at just that little aspect of one of those 12 pathways for profit, there's 4 right there. Okay. So what's really cool about this is of those 12, we break down those into 4 different pillars. They're like quadrants, okay? And within each of those 4 quadrants are a couple steps. But that's, when you look at those, should I do email? Should I do content? Should I create a funnel? Should I go live? A tactic in a way, right? But we're trying to get you to start with strategy, okay? Now, what can we look at in these 4 vital strategic plays? Remember, revenue is vanity. Say, I did a launch and I made, $100,000, but you paid out so much in JVs and affiliates and all this other stuff that your profit was really small. Okay. So revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. So strategic plays that you might look at is your inventory, your vendors, your staffing, your taxes, right? So most people do start with the tactics and that brings in revenue. But the strategic play increases your profits, and that's really what's important. So you want to start there, whereas most people have it upside down. So whereas you saw the checkers is a really simple play, right? There's only 4 moves that you can make, and so you don't have a lot of options, a lot of creativity. However, how about a mind map? A strategic mind map. Would you love that? Okay, take a look at the strategic mind map for when you're playing chess, when you are actually playing strategically and you have strategic access and actions that you're doing. Okay, this is when you become a master chess player in your business. Okay, and so what I do for you is outline a $100,000 mind map specifically for you based on where you are in your business, on which levers you already have mastered and which ones you need to work on, okay? So that you're not playing checkers to start. You're starting at the top, right? Just like we always start you with high ticket. You always want to start at the top and not climb your way to the top, because the climb is too exhausting and you will wear out and you will quit. Anybody feel like that in their business? Like, I've been doing this so long. Okay. So how do you know that you're behind on your profit? That is if you've been in business 3 years or more and you haven't built $1 million in your business, you're behind. You are not doing the right thing. Okay. So we do want to help you with that. Again, let me tell you, come here every Tuesday, okay? Because I'm going to give you strategies that you can use, not tactics, strategies. So I want you to get the workbook, type workbook. And here's my guarantee that we'll build you $100,000 automatic monetizing money machine in 12 weeks, and it's guaranteed. So you have a 300% guarantee. Okay, so you will have your first session with me. If you're coaching with me, you'll have a session with me, and you don't pay for that. If we can't get you that $100,000 in that first session, you don't pay for anything. But we have a 300% guarantee that we can do that. Okay, I guarantee 300% on our coaching fees. And so this means what? It means you get your results in advance. Wouldn't you love to know in advance from somebody that they will absolutely get you the result? Instead, most people go and try a coach here and a coach there and a coach there, and they never get a result. So what we're saying is, don't pay until we can guarantee it, until we can show you you're going to make this money and this is how you're going to do it. Then go for it. Some of you this isn't for, but if you're serious about making a significant amount of money in a very short period of time, we're talking 100,000 in 12 weeks. This is the first time I've offered this to the public. Okay. So I want you guys to book your profit call. It doesn't cost you anything this month. Okay. It's totally free this month. And of course, I also want you to get the workbook. Okay. So the workbook is going to break all of this down. Okay. All you have to do is type workbook. My team will send you a message and they will send it to you. Okay. It's that simple. And it is really great. Now, I also have a book called The 12 Profit Levers, and that is coming out in a couple weeks. I'm going to have it out, I believe, for my birthday in about 2 weeks. And so, stay tuned, and we'd love to get you that book, and we'll probably get a first number of you the book for free. So stay tuned in the next couple of weeks, and I'll get you a copy of my next book. Now, is this making sense? Okay, I hope you're getting really excited, because if you haven't made $100,000 in a year, you probably don't believe me that you can do it in 12 weeks, right? Or in 100 days. So I want you to challenge me. Make me prove it to you. Take up my 300% guarantee that I can show you how to get your profit and how to do it in 100 days. Okay? It's going to be that fun and that simple. All you have to do is just book the call. Okay? So here's the important point I want you to take away from this. The biggest difference between $100,000 and $1 million is a guaranteed strategic plan. You need something so you know which way to move. Right? You need something beyond checkers. You need strategic plan. You need a chess strategy. Okay. So, and if you think about it, this is really what business is, isn't it? It is a chess game. There's many pieces that you have going on. Each piece has a different rule, right? They can move in different ways. And you have to master all of that. In chess, you think many moves ahead. I'm going to do this, and they're probably going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and they're going to do this, and then checkmate. Okay? That's how a chess master thinks. That's how we think. And that's how you want to think if you want to have your business scale to 7 figures, because that's the whole point, right? If I can show you how to make 100,000 really quickly, you'll probably trust me to take you to 7 figures, right? Okay. So go ahead and do that. I want This is what I want you to do. Okay, just read that. Okay, that sounds interesting. I want you to get the workbook, and you can go to Meet Connie, go to the front of the line, book your appointment first. This is all for you, totally free for this month. Okay. So what is going to happen? What's going to happen is we're going to actually be on a Zoom call, and I'm going to take you through my software. And the software has 489 million different algorithms that it uses to help you see exactly what you need to do. Not just what you need to do, but how you need to do it. That's the most important thing. It's going to lay out the step-by-step plan for you, okay? And then in the right order. Who's done that for you lately? Has somebody given you a plan and stuck by you and helped you all the way through? Okay, so that's exactly what I want to do. And when you sit with me in this profit session, then you're going to walk away with a 17-page strategic plan, the exact thing that we showed you, and how to increase your profits and your revenue and the value of your business. This is so cool. Okay, now I have to ask you an important question. Are you guys getting this? We getting this? Write down below, okay? Just go ahead and put it down below. Is if this is making sense, let me know, okay? If you have had your profit call with me already, I've only released this in the last week and let you guys do this for free, because it's usually for my very top level clients that pay me $60,000 and above. And so I want to bring it to anybody, wherever you are in your business, okay? Because I can structure a plan for wherever you are. Not everybody wants to make 7 figures. I don't know why, okay? But I want you to. But if you're not at that, and you're like, hey, give me $250,000, I'm good. Great. That's what I said in the beginning, right? That what we want to do is help you figure out what your plan is. If your target is $250 a year, then great, we will come up with a plan for that. If your target is, I'd like to get to 7 figures and see the plan for 7 figures, perfect, we'll do that. If you just need a quick hit, like, Connie, just get me over this hurdle, I'm at a strategic inflection point. If you guys know what that is. If you don't know what that is, that's where you're like wondering, why is nothing working? That's called the strategic inflection point. We can talk more about it on your call, and I can tell you why. And it's very predictable in business. So if you know it's coming, then you can prepare against it. And so that's what we do. We kind of look at your business at a 30,000-foot view and say, okay, this is where you are. This is where you need to be. And when you see it from our vantage point, you go, this makes so much sense. Okay. So, but some people feel a little intimidated, right? And I want you to know that we take the risk out, okay? It's measured. So the question is, do you know how much risk you can afford? And when you should walk away from something, like, oh, that's too risky, or I can handle that. So what if you knew in advance, you had calculated risk and you knew what would happen, and when you should walk and when you should run into the methodology, when you should run away? That's what we're going to show you. Okay. So we want to take away all the risk. We want to take away all the trial and error. And we want to take away all the fear and fill you with confidence. Because if you could see in advance, if you had a crystal ball to see in advance exactly how amazing your business is going to be, you would be much more confident to move forward. Isn't that right? Think about that. When you lack clarity and you're driving your car and it's foggy, what do? You put on the brake because you don't know what's ahead. Now we're giving you a methodology to know what is ahead. So you have 100% certainty, 100% confidence, 0 risk. And you can say, yeah, I'm going to do this because I know it will work. I know in advance it will work. We also take away all the extras. Okay. So you're not doing more. Most people say, I don't want to do it because I can't put any more on my plate. You're on the wrong plate, right? We don't do buffet, okay? We don't want you to pile all this stuff on your business agenda. We're going to streamline it, okay? Now, I do want you to know, just go ahead. Again, don't think, just type #profits. We'll reach out. If you have questions about it, we'll hop on a quick call, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, send you a message, ask your questions, and we will tell you more about the call or about the workbook so you don't feel like you're forced into it. We don't want anybody forced into it. I don't have that much time on my schedule, okay? But I also want to thank you for one more thing, and that is we are coming up to the last quarter here, and we're doing our Iconic Fall survey. And I would love to ask you to participate with us in the survey. And all we want to do is hop on a quick call with you for, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 if you tend to talk a lot. And we want to find out what's working for you. What have you been going through? What's important to you? What do you want to see happen in the industry? What's been anything, okay? Because we do a State of the Union address for our clients, and I want to hear feedback. What are people going through? And the survey is short, and if you take it, you could win a free iPad. So we're going to do a drawing at the end. Our survey expires on Halloween, so we want to get them all in by Halloween. And then we're going to draw a name, and somebody will win an iPad for taking the time to be with us. So all you have to do to participate in that, I would really appreciate it. And there is nothing we're selling you, by the way. So just do #survey. And just for sharing your feedback, then you might win a free brand new iPad. So it's super cool. This is part 1 of 12 pathways to profit. Next week, we're going to go into part 2. We will see you then. Can't wait to meet you in the survey and in the profit session.